Shinjuku Station.
Oh. Huh. You've already eaten 3 bowls of noodles, George. Don't you ever get tired? Hmm? The professor.
Professor, you should have let me know you were coming. I'd have been happy to pick you up at the station.
No need for that, Miss Sane. It's not far from here. This is Mr. Katagiri, my assistant.
Professor, I'm afraid I can't give you your regular room. Another guest has...
Ah, so you've given my room to someone else.
Well, yes. I'm sorry.
Would you like me to change rooms?
Oh, hello, George.
After all, this gentleman is a regular, right? So, you're a university professor from Tokyo.
Yes, I come here about once every 3 years to enjoy some time off and do some research. I stay about a month or so, then go back to Tokyo. I usually stay in this guest house. But that's all right. I'll take a room in the main building this time. I won't be staying nearly as long as I usually do, and besides, my assistant's with me. As I understand it, you came here because you're looking for someone.
Yeah.
Well then, I was just about to go into town. Would you like to join me? You see, I came here looking for someone as well.
Yeah?
Yeah. But it won't be easy. You see, he's about 200 years old. So, are you ready to go?
Professor, where are you going?
Into town. My friend and I are going to do a little sightseeing. When I first came to this town around 20 years ago, it was barely more than a rice field. In fact, it really wasn't a town at all, just a small country village. At any rate, during my ethnological research, I had become intrigued with the name Araki and its prevalence in this area. So when I saw the Araki Hotel, I got off the train and found out that the whole town was full of Arakis. The ethnologist in me was captivated. And now, 20 years later, I find it just as fascinating. There used to be an ancient temple here, but it was destroyed around 1870 during the Buddhist destruction movement at the beginning of the Meiji period. When the Meiji period was over, the government offered to restore it, but by then the center of town had moved quite a ways from here, closer to the mining developments up on the mountain. So they decided to build the new temple over there, in the area known to the people around here as Red Town. At least until the Edo period, the area called White Town was the center of Kimujuku. The folks in Red Town called this side of Kimujuku the new residential area. If you ask me, that side looks a lot more like a residential area than what they're building here.
The map is wrong.
If the map's wrong, all our plans will have to be revised.
What a mess.
Well, what do you know? George, you're back!
Uh-oh.
Hey, buddy, where you been?
Nowhere special.
So tell me, what's up? What are you doing way out here?
Taking a walk.
Who's your friend?
This is a scholar from Tokyo, Professor Uekusa.
Oh, yeah. I seen him around town now and then.
He's been teaching me a lot about the Buddhist destruction movement. This place has a real interesting history.
The Buddhist what? Destruction? I just know about salvage destruction. Ooh, that reminds me, have you heard about Tanakura's driver?
No, what about him?
Well, Tanakura found out that he was the one behind the rip-offs and forced him to turn himself into the authorities.
Yeah, so?
So now the guy's dead, George.
So how did it happen?
According to the official police report, the guy committed suicide. But if you ask any of the guys who knew him, they'll tell you he wasn't the type to do something like that.
Where was he when he died?
In a holding cell, or so they say. But I got my men on it. I'll let you know what we find out.
That guy a friend of yours?
Sort of. I beat him up a couple of times. It's kind of a male bonding thing, I suppose.
Well then, you must be awfully strong.
Huh?
Miss Sanae told me about you. She said everyone's trying to hire you as a bodyguard. Maybe I should think about hiring you. Think I need one?
What about your assistant? Isn't that his job?
Huh?
He's a martial arts expert. Isn't that right?
How do you know that, George?
The way he carries himself.
So, you knew the whole time. He's tough, all right. I think he was a boxer or something like that. A professional fighter, I imagine. Kimujuku. According to an ancient legend, a demon lived in this area long before the town existed. Naturally, the first settlers here claimed it was superstitious nonsense. That's why they called it Kimujuku, which means a place free of demons. But the fact is, this legendary demon might really exist.
Huh?
Back then, and now.
George, you're here. You came back.
Yeah, the last train, round midnight.
I'm glad. When you left, I was afraid I might never see you again. Why don't the two of us go have some tea?
I'm sorry, I've got a friend in town today.
Well, okay. I'll catch you later then. Hey, you guys, wait up. What's the matter, Miyu? Did your dreamboat turn you down? It's not like that at all.
Dreamboat, huh? Better watch yourself.
What was that for?
100 years ago, you would have been expected to marry a girl you were that friendly with.
No way. Really?
I believe that the legend is based on fact and that the demon really did live around here. Somewhere in this town, there's gotta be something that'll prove I'm right. And someday I'm gonna find it.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm sorry it took so long.
Ha! The mistress herself in person. We are honored.
Professor, would you tell us about the legend again?
The legend of the demon. I believe some of the original settlers of this region were of European descent.
They were Westerners?
Yes, I think it's possible that Westerners were among those who lived here centuries ago.
Fascinating.
Furthermore, from the Japanese perspective, Westerners were seen as having ugly red faces with large eyes and noses, which leads to the possibility that the demons the Japanese thought they saw were actually Westerners.
Interesting theory.
My research has led me to believe that those with the surname Araki are the descendants of those Westerners. I know my theory's right, but I've got to find the proof. That's why I want your help, Mr. Kodama. You've got to help me find it.
Oh, I see.
A scholar?
Yeah, George is snooping all over town with the guy. Says he's some kind of university professor from Tokyo.
Oh, yeah? Tell me what he said to you.
Something about Buddhists and demolition.
Buddhists and demolition?
He means the Buddhism destruction movement.
Oh, hey, bro. Raccoon overheard George talking about something.
Sorry, Mr. President. I'm really not sure what he was talking about. Oh! Ooh.
My instructions were clear. I told you to follow Kodama. Now go find him again. And don't take your eyes off him for a second.
Yes, sir.
This reference library was constructed a little over 10 years ago, when it was still possible to obtain funding for research.
Must have a lot of research in there.
Yes, but nothing conclusive. According to the legend, the demon buried treasure somewhere in this vicinity.
Oh, yeah?
It could be hidden in one of the old abandoned mines.
Welcome back, Professor.
Thank you, Miss Sanae.
What are your plans for dinner? Will George be dining with you again tonight?
Yes, I've invited him to join me.
We have other plans, Professor.
Oh, that's right. We have to finish outlining our research strategy tonight. Duty calls. Sorry, George.
That's all right, I don't mind.
Thanks, Miss Sanae. We'll have dinner upstairs.
Okay, enjoy. That guy Katagiri really gives me the creeps, you know what I mean?
Doesn't he always come with the professor?
No, this is the first time. Besides, the professor always comes to town during summer vacation. He's never been here at this time of year. I wonder if he's in some kind of trouble.
Ah, come on. We gotta sleep in the car again?
Hey, our orders are to follow him wherever he goes. So that's what we're gonna do.
Mr. Kodama. Mr. Kodama.
Huh?
George. George, are you there?
Dr. Uekusa.
He's going to kill me.
What?
He's coming. Come on, we've got to get out of here. Follow me, George. Hurry!
What's with your assistant? Why is he so pissed off at you?
He's not my assistant. He's been using me to get his hands on the demon's treasure.
Huh?
What do you want?
Wake up, you idiot! Where's Kodama?
Sir, he's still inside. And if he leaves, we'll be right on his tail.
George isn't in there, you idiot. He and the professor are gone. Now find them.
Right, boss. I mean, Mr. President.
I had no choice. He said he'd hurt me if I didn't help him. He forced me to take a leave of absence. All my classes were canceled. If we can find the treasure, it will have tremendous historical significance. But that thug Katagiri will just sell it to the highest bidder. We can't allow that to happen. He gave me final warning at gunpoint during dinner tonight. He said if I don't take him to the treasure tomorrow, he'll kill me. All I can do now is prove that the treasure is real by finding it and announcing its existence to the world. I always thought I knew where the treasure might be, but I never had enough funding for the field research it would take to find out if I was right.
This afternoon you said it might be in an abandoned mine, didn't you?
I did, but I lied.
Huh? We did it.
Thanks. I tried to move it earlier by myself and it wouldn't budge an inch. Now, let's go find that treasure. In the olden days, there was a custom in this area called pilgrimage to the full moon, paying homage to the full moon at some kind of shrine. But the whereabouts of this sacred shrine are still unknown. Some believe that it was purposely hidden. However, if the theory that I've developed is correct,
You think this is the shrine?
it must be. But if it is, then where is the demon's Treasure?
Turn it off.
What?
Please, turn off your flashlight.
Why? Look! Moonlight! The water! Look at the water! The shrine. It's configured in such a way that a cross will appear only when there's a full moon.
Secretly, they were Christians.
Just as I thought. There were Christians among the first settlers to come here, but they kept their religion a secret.
They were Westerners?
Yes. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. A cross created by the light of the moon. A valuable treasure indeed.
Just what I wanted to hear. Thank you. But if you're such a brilliant guy, Professor, why can't you follow instructions? I told you to take me along whenever you went treasure hunting. Enough talk. Where's the treasure?
It's right here. And it's not for the likes of you.
I'll give you one more chance, Professor. Tell me now!
The treasure's here, but it's not the kind he's looking for.
George! Huh? Hey, George! Huh?
Professor, get out! Quick!
The treasure!
Come on!
It's gone. Forever. The exquisite and beautiful demon's treasure that I've been searching for all these years.
So there really wasn't any treasure after all, right?
Right, sir, but maybe we ought to take a closer look.
That means he wants you out of here. Get back to trailing Kodama.
Yes, sir.
That guy who died down there, the one they called Katagiri, who the hell was he? It's almost like... But it couldn't be, could it?
Not to worry. Just another guy they sent out here, from Tokyo.
Katagiri was right about one thing. I did know the location of the treasure, but it wasn't the one he was looking for.
So, do you think there's anything else hidden in this town, Professor?
Don't know. Don't even want to know.
Kimujuku, home of the demon.